Dungeon Master Hotline. How can I help you?
Good there. How you doing?
That's okay. How you doing? Oh man, what kind of mic are you using?
Sure, SM7B.
I can hear it. It sounds nice. What you got for me?
Good. Yeah, so I was just wondering. I have my own method of madness in terms of preparation and stuff like that, but I was wondering if you had any personal favorites when it comes to prepping for pre-written adventures.
My favorite pre-written adventure?
No, sorry. I was wondering if you had any tips for your favorite way to prep for a pre-written adventure.
Really soon I'm going to start making video guides on how to prepare for those. But my favorite method is to, I guess it depends on the pre-written adventure. I definitely have a method, but I don't know what it really just depends on the.
Like I have a method too. I've been running adventures for a long time, but I'm kind of it's always very same. And I was wondering if you had any like favorite methods for yourself, like the ones that you like to do. And I guess the word like is the best indication here. Not really the most like efficient, but the ones you like most.
Give me an example.
Yeah, sure. I like to summarize the chapters and create NPC lists.
Okay. So what I will do is I'll read through the entire chapter. Well, actually, when I'm preparing for a campaign module, I will read through the entire book cover to cover, and then I will break it down into sessions. I will literally say this is a session, like chapter 1 is session 1 or 2 sessions long. And then each session I will write down encounters, loot, NPC. I have 4 NPCs, loot. So I need NPCs for voices and motivation, encounters, usually combat, what monsters, loot. So it's worth going there. And I have one other one, but those are the main 3.
Yeah. Okay, so pretty standard stuff. That's good. My second question is more of a personal campaign question. I've got a character who is a vampire who is going to be a general of a dragon. Now, the dragon's a black dragon who has kind of done the Horcrux sort of theme with his soul, and he's divvied out to each of his generals one piece of his soul, and so this vampire's got an artifact from the manifestation of the soul, whatever.
Okay.
But this general has a werebat, and I was wondering if you had any good ideas as to how to incorporate this werebat, or how what kind of relationship that werebat might have with this vampire general.
Well, so a werebat would be a great. So as soon as you said werebat, my head goes immediately to basically, are they going to be interacting with the party? Like you want them to be like this? This is the villain.
Kind of a precursor to it's like the general's like the one step down from the big bad guy, and then
the werebat is
the general.
Gotcha. So what I would do with the werebat is I would introduce them to the party very early on. Maybe after like the first quest, the party does something very early on that kind of ticks off the big bad evil guy, or ticks off the general, the vampire. Mm-hmm. Very early on, the party gets under this, like gets on his radar or her radar, their radar. And so he sends his werebat. And what I would do is I would send the werebat. I would have the werebat lose. They die. And then the vampire has to bring them back. It doesn't have to happen the first time, but at some point the vampire bat sends the werebat. The werebat dies. Mm-hmm. And now the general is livid. This doesn't have to happen early, but it has to happen at some point. The werebat dies. The vampire is livid. And so the vampire turns the werebat lieutenant. Turns him. You're a vampire spawn now. And your job, Mr. Vampire Spawn Werebat guy, is to kill the party. Deal with them. Because I'm mad. You've got to be mad. They killed you once. And like, I imagine the werebat's like, gladly. Let me back. I got this. All right. Let me back at them. And at this point, they're a vampire. So they have They can regenerate, so they can use poke tactics. They also have the ability to turn into red mist. And until I don't think the maybe the vampire spawn doesn't get this, but I mean, you can homebrew it. And now for the rest of the campaign, every once in a while, this guy just shows up and harasses the party. And he has to lose, right? So when he loses, he just backs out. He can heal. He'll turn into like maybe one night the party's resting after an epic battle with a boss. Like the boss is over, the party's like, "Whew, that was tough." And then this vampire spawn werebat shows up. And it's like, oh man, exactly. And if they lose, guess what? I'm out of here. I can heal. Like I can do this. I can do this all day. I will get my revenge. So that's how I would do that.
I love that. It actually spawns one more question. The other henchman to this vampire lady is a flesh golem that I've named Suture, and this Suture is an amalgamation of all the enemies that the vampire has defeated in the past. And as such, it has like a dragonborn head that can breathe fire. It has hands that it can swap out of a sorcerer that it killed once. So it has like 5 spells it can cast a day and whatnot.
That's cool.
So if they actually do take down this werebat, I could just make her give the wings to this flesh golem. So which way do you think I should go with that then?
I would keep the flesh golem in the back. I don't know how I would introduce the flesh golem, but I know for certain that once that flesh golem gets introduced to the party, there's going to be space on its body for the party.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's obvious. Like there is space. There's like a hole where a head should be, or like a shoulder or something. It's like, that is where you're going to go.
Yeah. I actually have like a head swapping mechanic in play, and one of the heads that it has is a NPC from the player's background, so it should piss them off quite a bit.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. Well, thank you so much for answering those questions. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you got plenty to work with. See, man, you guys talk about vampires sometimes, and it's like I can't even.
You don't like vampires, or you love vampires?
I love vampires. I can talk about vampires for days.
Yeah, well, original Ravenloft has kind of pulled me into the game in the first place, so I got a special spot for them.
Absolutely. Good luck with your werebat and your flesh golem.
Thank you, sir.